Personally, I need to put it so clear. You have to put a disclaimer. Because we are former guilds, maybe you didn't mention that. I was guild president 2016, 2017. And Madam Amina right next to me was guild president twice. So I think we are in better shoes to deal with this session. So those who have questions of bias, there is completely no bias. Okay, back to the question. What do you think can be done to keep this track record, or a good track record of the IUIU Females Campus?
Alumni, right?
Definitely, the alumni.
So I would suggest that we start involving our alumni into our university activities, our events.
Well, we do that, but they don't want to come around. I will inform you. What can be done?
We would,
as guild president, in case you go through, what will you do? Because you would have joined the table of alumni. So what do you think you bring on table that has not been done?
I believe we could increase on the publicity and make sure that they get the information about our events in time, and we also get time to reach out to them and convince them to come and interact with the current students. We tell them about the importance of cooperating with the current students so that they are inspired, they look up to them and wish to be where they are. Personally, I would wish to be like our moderators here.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, you're welcome. Please have a seat. Let's go into the segment of our students. Our dear students, I'll tell you that this competition is going to be so tight. Both candidates, in my own opinion, are very good. They are very excellent. And inshallah, we look forward to having a very good president from one of you. Thank you so much for answering or giving answers to those questions. We are moving to the segment of having questions from you, the students. By show of hands, who are those people that have questions so that the microphone is sent to you? We need 4 questions for each candidate. Okay, if you have a question, you will approach and then you will ask. You'll be specific on the numbers. Don't say, Khadija, this question is yours. Respect our candidates. One is candidate number 1 and the other is candidate number 2. Okay? Please, Monica, proceed.
Okay, thank you. A good evening to everyone. My name is Monica, an eligible voter. So I have 2 questions for each candidate. Candidate number 1, my question is, what plans do you have to improve on the integrity of the guild cabinet? Allow me break down the question. After these elections fade away, the guild cabinet is going to be there. But the students themselves, they will not, they have not been knowing the respect like they should give the guild cabinet. They do not know some of the ministers. The guild cabinet itself, people think it's about the president and a few people. Even just, I think you've understood my question.
Question number 2.
Question number 2 is to candidate number 2. Thank you for your first manifesto. Thank you for all your plans. They are promising. But have you looked into the minority, the Christians? I'm a Christian. What plans do you have for us? People do not consider us in some of these things. Could you please help me mention one of our grievances and what plans have you to solve that grievance which you are going to mention? Thank you.
Are you specific on the candidate that should answer that question, yes, or they should both answer? Because I didn't hear an opinion from either of them. Or you are specific, it's your right.
Let them first answer each candidate her own question. Then if you have the answer if you want to answer the question of your friend, you answer.
Okay, yes. Thank you. But you don't set the rules here. It is the panelists that set the rules. You may sit. Thank you, Monica. I think we should have the next person asking questions. Please, our candidates, note your questions and prepare your answers. Yes, Husna.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
My name is Sarajah Husnayakud, a student of education. My question goes to candidate number 1. You were asked a question by one of the panelists that how are you willing to advance the leadership or to motivate the student leaders in IUIU Females Campus? And your answer was, it came in form of rewards, giving them some money. So apart from money, because if we focus on money, we are going to produce money-minded leaders. Money-minded leaders, yet in IUIU, we are not on the same financial level.
Question. Go to the
Apart
question.
from money, what else are you willing to use to advance the leadership in our mighty campus? Thank you.
Good. Very good. Thank you, Lisa. Any other person that has a question for our candidate?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
So my question goes to candidate number 2. This was a statement you made, and I noted it very well. Candidate number 2, you mentioned one of your characters was being apologetic. You said you are apologetic, and when you were asked to say more about it, maybe in details, you said the way you express that apologetic character is by you listen or you take advice from your people who are above you. According to me, I feel like leadership, you need to first listen to us who are under you, because we gave you our votes. So if you intend not to listen to us, I don't know how this is going to work out. So please tell me, are you going to listen to those who are above you, but or you also going to listen to us who have given you our votes?
But people who are coming to ask questions, thank you for the question. Bear in mind that I stated as one of the rules that we deal with facts, not opinions. Okay? Unless you've clearly heard a person say something, do not throw words into anyone's mouth. So you, the people that are going to respond to the question, you have to take cognizance of the same. The last person to ask.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
So my question goes to candidate number 2. Candidate number 2, when you're speaking to us, you told us that...
What is your name?
My name is Naluembe Maimuna Kayembo.
Okay, proceed.
Candidate number 2, as you were speaking to us, you told us you're going to be working with the administration. Now working with the administration is something ambiguous and something so big. I want you to elaborate more and more. Which steps are you going to take in working with the administration to ensure that the entire IUI community is given the chance to experience your leadership? This also goes to candidate number 1. I also want to know...
Pardon, the last part of the question?
Yes.
The entire IUIU experiences leadership in what sense?
No, I said the entire IUIU impact of your leadership.
Okay, perfect.
Yes. And this, I also pose this question to candidate number 1. Please also tell us, in your manifesto, you told us you're going to work, you're going to work on the issue of tuition. Now, I understand that the panel had posed this question to you, but here we can, in your issues, I want you to elaborate, because there are things called trust funds. You could form a trust fund for your cabinet. Now, in case you want to form a student trust fund, which steps could you take to ensure that fund is successful? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Over to the speaker. Please be the last person to ask in this segment.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I'm here on behalf of
Your name.
Okay, sorry about that. I'm Faida Shamim, pursuing certificate in general nursing. So I'm here on behalf of my nursing students. We have UNASNAM as a body that governs the nurses. So my argument here is I want both candidate number 1 and candidate number 2 to tell us how they are going to involve us under our cabinet so that our grievances are heard and well worked on.
Thank you so much. Please, candidates, we shall begin with candidate number to respond. Who was the last candidate? Was it you? Candidate number 1, please take up the and respond to your questions in just 3 minutes. Summarily. But briefly, let's first observe the run and then we can proceed. Please proceed. Proceed. The run is coming from the other end. Maybe we shall observe the one of our own mosque here. Proceed. In 3 minutes, respond to those questions. Candidate number 1.
Thank you so much. My first question was,
candidate, you don't need to repeat the question. Go to the answer in the interest of time.
so according to me, I will ensure that. So I was asked how I would advance the leadership in the university. So that the person who asked me the question was like, when I talk about allowances, it will be like I am promoting money-minded leaders in the institution. Their allowances are not only through money, but other things can follow. For example, they can motivate them through evening dinners. They can motivate them through parties, let's say saving groups, through which they can develop their own financial positions in life.
Answered. Proceed to your next question.
The next question was the trust fund. So let me draw this back to the Run for Girl Child thing, the Run for Girl Child program. So when the money was collected, there is an account on which that money is deposited after it has been collected. We shall ensure that certain steps are followed. For example, names of students who are in need, for example, from the different faculties, because in IUIU we have 6 faculties in number, and different members from those faculties will be called upon to address, like to give in the names of their different classmates or course-mates who are so much in need of the what? Of those funds. So that the funds are not lost or they are not used for other things, inshallah. Hope I've answered all the questions.
I think they were giving a strategy.
Yes.
They were giving a strategy on how you can mobilize funds for students. And they were asking that how do you intend to at least bring up maybe a trust fund in terms of tuition mobilization for students?
Oh, tuition mobilization. Saving groups will also be formed amongst the students, because we have students here who work, who are not only students, but they are also of the working class. And other students are also wealthy. I will not say that the students here are impoverished or they are financially low, like they do not have money. Some students here are wealthier. So we shall use that opportunity by calling upon those students who can to support those students who cannot raise funds for their tuition. Thank you so much.
Okay. What about the question that was asked by the nursing student? Was it to candidate number 2 or to
Yes.
both of you? Please proceed with answering.
So I would like you to please pardon on the third question, because I thought it was only going to.
Students under your leadership. Actually, they mentioned the UNASNAM. How do you hope to incorporate them under your leadership?
Thank you so much. So on that issue, I will ensure that my cabinet will be working hand in hand with the UNASNAM cabinet to execute the different tasks that will be given, or the different programs that will be needed to be promoted in the institution, inshallah. Because sometimes you need more people, or you need the support of others in order to achieve what you would like to achieve in life. So that will be my strategy, inshallah.
It's not clear. Are you going to give them a slot on the cabinet that maybe you have a UNASNAM representative on the guild cabinet? How are you going to implement it?
Thank you so much. So I will ensure that, for example, the president of the UNASNAM community, I'll ensure that the president of the UNASNAM community, together with my good cabinet, will work hand in hand to accomplish the different tasks and to push the different programs in the institution, inshallah. Thank you so much. Hope I've answered the questions.
You have ably answered those questions to the best of your ability.
Let's
have candidate number 2. Thank you, candidate number 1. You may be seated. Candidate number 1, you have equally 3 minutes within which you should respond to those questions.
Number 2.
Candidate number 2, I beg your pardon.
For the Christians, I've had complaints that they are restricted to going to church on only one day. And I have a friend who is a Christian, so I've at least interacted with them. They complain of being restricted, going to church, they're given one day. And how I would rectify that, I would sit with the warden's office because they're in charge of granting permission on who is to move out. And we would find ways of how to cater for them and adjust the days and provide like allowances allowing them to go to church at their convenient time. Then I was asked, when I talked about working with the above, I meant as a leader, the students are my bosses. So you guys are also above. So I can consult the students, I can consult the administrators. All of you are above me since I am serving all of you. That is what I meant. Then lastly, how I would work with the administration. I would interact with the students, find out their concerns, their thoughts, their ideas, the areas where they feel something is lacking, and I would approach the administration and the responsible bodies within the university and find ways of how we can rectify those areas and make sure that each and every student is having a comfortable stay in the university.
Thank you. Thank you, candidate. You have another question?
The one for nurses?
Yes.
For the nurses, I'm willing to work with your cabinet. I'm ready to receive reports from the cabinet members. I'm sure they will be the ones representing the rest of the nursing students. I get reports from the cabinet members. I go through them. I discuss with them and see which areas we can tackle. And then find possible solutions on how we can solve those problems and make sure that our sisters are also enjoying their stay in IUIU Females Campus. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you. Thank you, candidate number 2, for your able response in regards to the questions that were asked. The next segment is a very interesting segment. I don't want any one of you to miss it. Before we go into the next round and the final round of questions, I'm told there are people who still want to ask questions to the candidates. Is this the case? You don't want to ask any further question? Okay, I'll take it that you want to ask. But let's first have a segment of both candidates asking one another at least 2 questions. Candidate number 2, you will ask candidate number 1 2 questions from any area apart from their personal life. Then candidate number 2, you will equally ask candidate number 1 2 questions under similar instructions. We begin with candidate number 1. Okay. Okay, are you ready to ask these questions? Are you ready?
Yes.
Are you sure? We could give you some time.
Yes, you can give me some time.
We'll give you some time.
Yes,
okay, prepare. Prepare like 2 questions for each other, but don't discuss. In as much as you see the one next to one another, don't discuss what you're going to ask the other. Okay, Madam MC, or speak of the day, Zaina. Where are the people that wanted to ask questions? Please approach. But bear in mind that the people you're asking are preparing for the questions they need to ask the other. Precise question.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
My name is Kabasa Madina. I'm pursuing a Bachelor of Laws in YAFO. My question goes to candidate number 1. And it is resulting from the past experience of last year, where most of our candidates were expelled, our leaders were expelled, and it was spotted on social media where we get our customers, students come.
Were they expelled?
Yes, they were given that year.
Is that year an expulsion? Is it an expulsion?
Okay, they were given a dead year, a suspension, which is a dead year.
Following, what did it follow? What was the result?
Pass out as it is quoted on social media. And yet we know that on social media is where we get customers come and study. So, our dear sister candidate number 1, what are you intending to do to make sure that whatever they are saying on social media to tarnish the image of IUIU is brought back to glory so that we can get more students come and study from here? Thank you.
Thank you for that question. It's a very sensitive question, and I hope candidate number 1, you have your facts right before you respond. Okay? The next person. Please move faster. Move faster. Your name and your question. Precise question.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
My name is Kwagala Manjer. I'm doing certificate in general nursing. Okay, my question is going to go to the 2 candidates. My question is, there are circumstances whereby we are having, let me say, functions like outside, but because there is that technical know-how, some students are not taken, and sometimes if they kind of write your name down, because of that technical know-how, they erase your name, then they take their friends in your place. So you as a good president, how are you going to deal with that issue? Thank you very much.
Okay, very good question. Technical know-how. We don't want technical know-how. Please, good president aspirant. Tell us how you deal with that. Yes.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Mugabe Tauma. I'm pursuing a Bachelor's of Secretary and Administrative Studies. I have 92 questions, and the first one goes to the second candidate. Madam Miss Asimo Hiba, can you please? Okay, sorry about that. Please, candidate number 2, can you please tell us how a typical day of a good president looks like? Then, candidate number 1, this is in case you pass through, how will you motivate your cabinet? Thank you.
Thank you so much. Was that the last question? Was that the last person asking? We still have more people? All right.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Good evening to all of you. First of all, I want to thank the contestant for coming up. This is a very big post. I have 2 questions, and they go to both candidates.
Your name and the question.
My name is Namatavu Zahara. 2 questions, and they go to both candidates because we want to hear your opinion on both of them. The first one is about pass outs. As it has already been mentioned that pass outs are tarnishing the name of IUIU, the social media out there. But that problem might have its root cause from inside here. And there are students complaining that they are facing problems from the gate. And then, as the gatekeepers are saying that the time for moving out, I'm assuming is 5. Question. Yes. What are you going to do? Because the students reached there and they said that they have not been informed that it is the standard time. So, what are you going to do about that? And then the next one, as a guild president, you're going to be the bridge between the administration and the student faculty of the school. And we are facing different problems of timetables, communication with teachers. So please, how are you going to address such an issue to try and bridge the gap between the two?
Thank you. Yes. Dear candidates, I'm hoping that you're ready. Candidates, as you stand up to ask a question, you respond to, as you stand up to respond to the question, first ask your colleagues so that they prepare for the response, and then they'll also do the same. Subsequently respond to the question as you stand up to ask. Ready? Okay, let's have
sound checks.
Number 2 first. Candidate number 2.
I started.
You may ask candidate number 1 2 questions of your choice and also subsequently.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Manya Ibrahim Bagalaliwo bwetitowe tubadde ku Females Campus Kaboja nga olaba ebadde presidential debate wakati wa Honorable Higenyi and Honorable Asimwe. Bano bolaba bano bonna bawagizi baabwe, so they are eagerly waiting to see who takes that day. Era fenga fe ku Salam TV tubagaliza abirungi berere. Njagala okuwasiibula bagambe nti assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I have one.